So when Muhammad ibn Abdullah reached 40 years of age, and he was in the Ghar of Hira, some miles away from the hustle and bustle of the city of Mecca. There he used to meditate. The scholars say يتحنث. They don't exactly know the method, but the Abrahamic system of worship. So he is there contemplating, meditating, worshipping, and he notices someone else in the room, in the cave. And normally when someone new comes into the cave, or when you're sitting and someone comes in your presence, the normal code is to say Assalamu alaikum, or hi, or how are you, or... This one didn't. He just says IQRA. So the Rasul said, at this stage he is just Muhammad ibn Abdullah. So he said, Ma ana biqari'. I am not literate. I don't know how to read and write. Some scholars deduce that he must have been shown a parchment, an article to read. So subsequently he says, Ma ana biqari'. I am not learned. I can't read or write. So then he says, the person grabbed me, squeezed me until I could bear it no more, and then released me again and said, Iqra, read. So now bewildered, understand this cave is isolated, alone in the middle of nowhere. So now bewildered he says, Ma ana biqari'. I am not learned, I don't know how to read. So he says, he grabbed me again, squeezed me a second time until I could bear it no more, and then released me and commanded, Iqra. So I said, Ma ana biqari'. I can't read. So he squeezed me again until I could bear it no more, then released me and said, Iqra. Bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Read, recite, proclaim in the name of your Lord who created. خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ عَلَقٍ. Created man from a clot-like substance. اقرأ, read. وَرَبُّكَ الْأَكْرَمُ. And your Lord is bountiful. الَّذِي عَلَّمَ بِالْقَلَمِ. The one who taught man with the pen. علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. Taught him what he knew not. And as he uttered it, the man disappeared. So it is an extraordinary experience. This is not the days of Hollywood where you're exposed to fantasy. This is a person in the desert. Life is pretty bland. So the Rasul, bewildered, gathered his belongings and rushed out of the cave, and Subhan al-Khaliq, he says the same person is there, but now in his actual angel form, sitting on a throne, covering the expanse of the horizon. And this is Jibril. He says he has 600 wings. Each wing covers the horizon. The Quran describes him, ذي قوة عند ذي العرش مكين مطاع ثم أمين. The mighty Jibril seated near the throne of Allah Rabbul Izzah, obedient and then trustworthy. Jibril. So Jibril is sitting on his throne, covering the heavens, and Muhammad sallallahu ala Muhammad looks up at him, and Jibril says, I am Jibril, and you are the messenger of Allah. So the Rasul is bewildered. He looks away and Jibril is there, and again he says, I am Jibril, and you are the messenger of Allah. So the Rasul looks away, and again he is there. I am Jibril, and you are the messenger of Allah. So he's bewildered, and he rushes down, sliding down the slopes of the mountain. And to his bewilderment, the rocks start to say, Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah. It is as though creation has held its silence, and now after 600 and more years, a prophet has finally come, and this is the seal of prophethood, after whom will be no more. It is as though they're saying, Ya Rab, give us permission to say salam to the Rasul. So he went home, nervous, anxious, afraid, bewildered, and he says, Zammiluni, Zammiluni, Dathiruni, Dathiruni, cover me, wrap me up, cloak me, conceal me. So he's there under the covers until the emotions subside, and he explains to our mother Khadijat Kubra what happened, and she confesses her trust in him and goes and speaks to Waraqa ibn Nawfal, and subsequently comes back and comforts him. Then revelation stopped for some time. And one day he sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and he's doubting, what has happened to me? Am I possessed? Is there a jinn? What's going on? And he says, I was walking in the streets, and he looks up, and there he is again, Jibril. And it is such an overwhelming feeling that it caused the Prophet to kneel. He got on his knee, like make them drop. And he rushed back home and he said, Zammiluni, Zammiluni, Dathiru, cover me, cover me. And now he is covered, and Khadija goes out again, radiallahu anha, and now Jibril comes again. And this time with the revelations, Ya ayyuhal muddathir, qum fa'andir, wa rabbaka fakabbir, wa thiyabaka fatahhir. O you who are covered, get up and start warning. Qum fa'andir. And he got up and started to warn, and started to teach, and started to preach. And for the next 23 years, his night and day was the same. And don't think that the preaching was easy. His message at a time where there are 360 gods in the Kaaba. How many? 360 gods in the Kaaba, idols in the Kaaba. His message is La ilaha illallah. None of these are correct, only one Allah. Can you imagine coming to an Arab race and telling them, all this is wrong, Allah alone is Lord?